So the first thing, the first element is an entity that creates laws. All right. So it's called the legislative branch. Oh God, this sucks, but okay. Legislative. Okay, there we go. So basically, what does this contain? This is the segment of our system that creates laws, and that also implies that it can remove laws and edit laws. So which is that? That's first and foremost the Senate. Okay, and then the plebeian council too. For those of you who don't know what the plebeian council is, it's just like the Senate, except that the plebeian council is for starting politicians who want to learn how to be a politician, how the system works, how to, that's really like the stepping stone for then becoming a senator. And they also create what? No, that is just bullshit. No. Mm, in theory, yeah, that was how it was in the real Roman Empire, but in our Rome, it is not like that. Going to have to disappoint you. I was a former PC member, but the plebeian council, yes, they do have plebiscitum in the constitution. It says that they can enforce their own law, but well, I tried it once as a plebeian council member with Sark. You know what happened? Sark got removed. The plebeian council lost its power, and for a week we had nothing at all to do. So it's not a thing you can try. So yeah, yeah. Well, so basically, okay, I'm just going to talk about our Rome. The PC is basically a stepping stone, a very important one. It taught me how to be a politician. But yeah, it creates laws, even though it has to pass through the Senate. I'll talk about that later. The Senate and the PC, but that's not where it ends. Also, the Magister Equitum. Oh god, that's a discussing E, roasted, but also the deputy Magister Equitum. They also have a legislative power. So does the emperor. The emperor is the utmost important. He creates laws that, like, he's the superior, the superior legislative power in Rome. He, like, his will is law. Everything that, like, if he creates a law, everyone has to follow it. Not only the Senate, everyone. Okay, that's for the legislative power. Then next to that, there's also, so this is the thing that creates laws. Now we have also the entity that executes a law. Like, that's what they call the executive power. Okay. Okay. Now the executive power, of what does it consist? The executive power is less strict. It's more vague in what it all contains. But one thing is magistrates. Okay, so for those who don't know what a magistrate is an individual that holds an individual power. For example, the consul C. The consul C is a magistrate. He's the most, well, basically the most powerful magistrate, but he holds a power that only he can wield, and he does that on his own. The legislative power, the Senate, like, wields a power that is greater than the consul, but they wield it together. I, as a senator, do not have the power of the Senate. The Senate has a collective power that is superior to the consul, but we do not wield it alone. All right? So that's the difference. He executes the law, in this case, the constitution. Because the consul, both consuls, are superior to the law in this Rome. That was not how it was in real life. In real life, the consul had to abide by the law. But in this Rome, the consul is superior to the law, but not to the constitution. So his task is to do what the constitution tells him to do. In an extent, that means he gets to regulate everything that falls under his imperium. All right, but also praetors fall under magistrates. Okay, and then also plebeian magistrates, like editum plebis, like Lowell's function is caput conciliaris. All right, so these to the Senate, this the CC to the PC. Those are magistrates. But also, it's not only magistrates that are executive. Although they hold the biggest power, there's also, for example, UC, Urbanae cohort, is an executive power. Why? They do what the law asks them. Ordinatio effectus, law and enforcement. That's what they do. They jail people, but that doesn't mean that they are third bench, about which later. They jail people for 5 minutes. That they just execute the law, alright? That's what you have to know about the executive. Then there's the third element. Wow. The third element that constitutes a Rome, that is the judicial branch. Okay, in real life, one of the most important. In this Rome, not so much. But anyways, the judicial branch, how badly it is written, I don't care. The judicial branch, it consisted of the JC, the judicial college, and that alone, plus the consulcy. Oh, okay, I'm such an alphabet. Consul C plus the praetorcy. Why? Because the praetorcy and the consulcy, they have the power to overrule the judicial college. They can manage it, they can decide what happens to your case, everything like that. So, in real life, all these powers are independent. Like, they cannot meddle up with each other. The judicial college is supposed to be separate from the legislative and executive. In our Rome, that's not the case. Just put it out of your head. It's not going to happen. Everything in this stream. Okay, I'm just going right now. I'm just going to for a dear friend right there. I'm just going to screen this shit and put it in the chat. Yeah. Constant edict is also below the Constitution. Oh, oh yeah. Well, actually, I don't think there's a law for that. Oh right, yeah, the how is it called? Yeah, that specific thing. It is right. It's only exceptional, but the main thing is, all right. Let me go back to my whiteboard. The main thing is, I'm going to put it like this. The legislative branch controls the executive branch, even the consul. Why? They elect him, alright? So I'm going to put this arrow here. They elect the consul, and they also have the power to remove him. And the consul by himself cannot edit the constitution. He needs the Senate to do that, alright? But you are right about one thing. The consul holds an immense power. Like, in this system, it's not balanced at all. The consul, in my opinion, has way too much power. But that allows... It has a good side too. It allows our Rome to function quickly, smoothly. So, yeah. About checks, like, okay. So, as I said before... in nowadays states, countries, in every country, there's like in democracies there's a wall right here and right here. These forces they do not meddle with each other. An executive power person is not going to tell a judicial what to do, nor is the legislative allowed to do that. But they do have checks and balances. It's a bit comparative to like America. Every country that is democratic. About this Rome, what happens? Checks and balances. The legislative branch checks the executive branch, because they, like the legislative branch elects the executive branch. The Senate elects its magistrates. The Senate can therefore also exitui them. They can remove their magistrates. That is a check. But then again, the executive branch, the consul, can veto anything that comes from the legislative branch. Except if the legislative branch is really convinced that the veto of the consul is not okay, they can overrule it. So that's another check on the executive branch. So the final power lays with the legislative branch, in theory. In reality, however, the last time, well, let's say I tried to do the last thing and I got removed for it, okay? So, yeah, that's how much the consul wields his power in Rome. So my recommendation is only do this last thing if it's really necessary. Okay, however, okay, I'm going to continue my story. In normal countries, there is no wait, I'm not done with my story. Blue, okay. Also, the legislative also controls the judicial. How? They create laws which allows the judicial branch to exist, and the judicial. Wait, I have never even talked about judicial branch. The judicial branch enforces the law. So the legislative creates law, executive executes law, judicial enforces the law. They punish you if you break it. So anyways, the legislative creates the judicial college, allowing them to exist, but also giving them the food they need to execute, to enforce this law, alright? In normal countries, there is something like this. Like the judicial college can check on these two. Like there's a constitutional court in America, the Supreme Court. They can nullify a law or a decision. In our Rome, that's bullshit. It does not exist, and it will never exist as long as Mark is here. Basically, in our Rome, the judicial college has not much authority on its own. Like I said before, the real power is here with the consul. Like you can see here, the consul C can decide anything that happens in the judicial college. He can criminalize people just as he wants. All right. Yeah, I don't need to put a blue arrow here because, well, the consul C, it speaks for itself. He is part of this entire scheme. All right. I'm going to screen this shit again. Okay, wait, what the fuck? No, that's not what I... Is this it? There we go, is my beautiful arrows. Alright, so let's continue. Okay, I was saying about the Judicial College. I do have to admit, it is my dream to one day create this arrow, to create a constitutional court that can nullify a consular edict if it goes against the constitution. But so far, like I've done a little experiment not so long ago, how far I could stretch it, like taking consular powers away. Cinna was really pissed at me, but there's actually, if I keep pushing, maybe in 5 years I will be able to put it through. Anyways. Yeah, they rip UC all the time. Okay, so yeah. Oh yeah, something very important. I'm going to remove all of